The Atlantic Ocean, 1942, World War II. German submarines regularly patrolled the waters off North Carolina's Outer Banks. They had plenty of targets, with hundreds of merchant ships and naval escorts making the journey from the US to England. Throughout the year, dozens of Allied vessels were sunk by Nazi torpedoes. Several submarines were destroyed by Allied aircraft.
You can find people today that remember seeing ships burning in the middle of the night and were woken up to the sound of windows breaking from tankers being shot and destroyed right off the coast.
Almost 70 years later, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association, or NOAA, is reviving the Battle of the Atlantic. Its mission, to find the sunken shipwrecks and recreate the battlefields which span more than 200 square kilometres on the ocean floor. When you hear the words World War II, you might think of Europe or the Asia-Pacific region. But what's not quite as well known is that the war came here to America's doorstep, and the proof is right underneath us.
Dive, dive, dive.
This is the graveyard of the Atlantic. The relics of the Second World War are now artificial reefs and home to thousands of creatures in this silent underwater world. So far, NOAA has found around 80 shipwrecks, including this German U-boat. They're all filmed, measured and identified, then the data is downloaded and compiled. The big picture is slowly emerging. Staff are using groundbreaking 3D technology and cameras to go back in time.
We're studying these shipwrecks in the same way that you would study a battlefield on land, like Gettysburg or the Custer battlefield site or Normandy, where we're looking at the physical remains of the ships on the bottom, where they're located, looking at the historical record and how those ships moved, and looking at the seabed now as a battlefield.
For maritime archaeologist Joe Hoyt, the war is literally coming to life in front of him.
To have that sense of the history and that connection to it, it makes it so much more powerful to be able to see there and put your hands on it and say, this really happened. You know, it takes it out of the conceptual and it brings it into reality.
NOAA hopes his underwater project will shed light on the Battle of the Atlantic, a crucial but little-known chapter in American maritime history. Cath, Al Jazeera, off the coast of North Carolina.